What is the Veil? Hi, my name is Tallen, and if you've been playing the campaign of Lightfall DLC in Destiny 2 or seen any review or forums, then you are just like everybody else, wondering and pondering what the heck the Veil is. I mean, if BYF, aka the Lord Daddy, has no idea what the heck is going on here, what hope do we have? But I'm getting ahead of myself. Actually, you know what? F it. Throwing away the script, we're going full raw here.
What did he say?
Oh, crap. It was not supposed to be like that. Quick, James, cut. Whew, sorry, not sure what came over me right there. Anyway, we're gonna just give our first impressions here and feelings about the Lightfall DLC here. This is not a full review. We're not going over every little bit that was included and shipped in this DLC. We're just gonna be going over my first 24-hour thoughts on the campaign story, Strand as a subclass, and just a little bit more kind of stuff like that. So if you enjoy the video, a like and a sub would be greatly appreciated. Without further ado, let's get started. Okay, like I said, guys, there's gonna be no script here or anything. I literally just have a list of bullet points in front of me, and I'm gonna talk about what I thought about the campaign, just different ththings like that, some of the characters, things that happened, all that kind of stuff. Let's get straight into it. All right, first off, right off the bat, gotta get some of the negatives out because it just blows my mind because we went from Witch Queen to this. Bungie, what the heck happened? You said the team that worked on Witch Queen was going to be working on the Lightfall campaign. What'd you do? Fire everyone but the leader of it and have to hire new people? Like, I'm dead serious. Like, what happens? Because I don't know how you went from, again, Witch Queen, one of the most beloved story DLCs of this entire series, to what we got with Lightfall here. Now, there are a couple of good parts to it, which we'll get into a bit later, but I had to address that because I'm like, what the heck is happening here? You focus way too much on the origins of Strand. It feels like Strand should have been something that we learned the origins of in a previous season. You know what? It honestly feels like season 18, the Plunder DLC, or the Plunder season that no one particularly liked, or a lot of people didn't like. That should have been what season 19 should have been there. Then season 20 should have been preparing us to get to Neomuna, aka the Neptune City. And it's just like, what was going on here? I feel we're missing a huge chunk of this because as you'll find out as you go through the story that, again, you focus way too much on Strand. Osiris is, dude, suck it the F up already. Osiris was so effing annoying. And so, wouldn't you know it, the campaign actually ends, and when you're doing these extra missions at the end of that, because you're done now with the campaign, he's actually leveled out to where you wanted to be, and we're actually starting to get more deep character development from characters like Nimbus and everything, aka the Cloud Strider, the two Cloud Striders that we learned, Ronan and Nimbus. Nimbus is still alive, but Ronan is dead because he sacrifices himself. But it's just like you kind of see it coming. You know he's going to sacrifice himself, but then nothing, the whole what you think how Nimbus would try to react to it or how he would try to move past it and everything, that's all done outside of the campaign. It's all these random missions that you're doing at the end and everything like that. It's just what the heck is going on here? Witness and Callus, the best scenes though, those are the best parts of the campaign out there, where you see the Witness and Callus talking together, and man, the Witness is, ooh man, he's a scary mofo. He's gonna be a toughie. He definitely is.
My witness, there have been complication. Our hold over the Veil has been temporarily loosened.
You fear loss, Emperor. Your fear brings you pain. We know pain. Our purpose is its end. You have no purpose because you fear to seek one. That fear is your failure.
My failure? My failure? I defend this force with vicious subjugation, battered down the gates of our enemies, and seized our glittering prize. Why? Because I wanted it. You hold the universe in your grasp, and all you can think of to do with it is
secure the Veil. We will create the link.
Infinite apologies. is yours. It will be done.
But man, those scenes are what it's at, and that's what I wanted to see more of. I wanted to see more of these scenes between Callus and the Witness, or where the Witness is like maybe even talking to us somehow, because there's some weird stuff going on with our ghost, and we're like, okay, is the Witness able to connect with the ghost? Is there some hidden character here that's not working out too well, or is trying to like manipulate our ghost or something like that? Because at the end, when we finally get to the end of the campaign and we are fighting off against Callus and you beat him just non-dramatically. I mean, that fight compared to fighting Savathun was, man, it's night and day. Savathun fight was amazing. Callus was just, it was honestly annoying just to fight. By the way, if you want to catch the full campaign run through, go check it out on our Place channel. Link will be down in the description below and up in the top right corner there. But anyway, back to this. So after this, we get to the end and we're like, oh yeah, we've won. And everyone's been comparing this to kind of like the Infinity War of the Destiny 2 game, because it's just like, okay, this is supposed to be like where we lose and everything, and all of a sudden our ghost starts acting up and makes this connection between the Veil. Again, we have absolutely no idea what the Veil is, and then the Witness it connects with the Witness, or it connects with the Traveler with the Witness because it has his pyramids around it or something. Again, nobody knows. Just nobody knows. And then all of a sudden he just makes this triangle in the Traveler, and then they all disappear into a portal, but it's like it's in the Traveler. We're not really sure. We connected into however it works. Again, I feel like this is all going to get, you know, probably stretched out into all the seasonal DLC story and the season pass and everything like that. But just like, but this is supposed to be the Lightfall DLC campaign. It should all be here. We should be knowing why the Witness wants the Veil on Neomuna. We should be trying to understand what the heck is going on a little bit here. And again, I know exactly what's going to happen. It's all going to be flushed out over the season passes for the next year or so, which, no, you need to tell a complete story here while setting stuff up to finish up the final shape for next year. And if you had to delay it from February, you should have said that long advance ago. I understand that everything, when it came to working from home and the pandemic and everything like that, I get that. It probably threw your schedules through a fizzy, but it's just like, how did we go from which? Again, we went from Witch Queen, which told a complete story, finding out who Savathun, way more detail on who Savathun was, what happened, how she got the power of the Traveler and everything like that, beating her, and at the same time, we started to learn a little bit about who the Witness was and everything. So why is it that in this story, we did not get to start learning more about the Witness, and also how, maybe like how he found Callus and everything? And I mean, we've learned a decent amount about Callus throughout the many seasons that are in the story, but tell us what happened with Callus after he was exiled from his daughter. And then all of a sudden, like how the Witness met him, how he changed him. And because, you know, because again, that scene where Callus is talking with the Witness, and then the Witness is just like crushing the inside of his brain, which by the way, is only when they're talking. It's just like, holy crap, this guy's menacing. What the heck? I want to know more about that. What's going on with the Witness? Why does he need to use the Veil to connect with the Traveler somehow, which then in terms, maybe it makes balance or something like that. Again, we are all taking wild guesses here, but why are we not learning any of this stuff? Why are we not understanding what the Veil is? Because again, we have Osiris in our ear from the moment we drop down into the city. Protect the Veil, protect the Veil, protect the Veil, protect the Veil. It's like, what the heck's the Veil? Why? What's going on here? What is so bad if they connect? I mean, obviously we know it's a game. They have to do that. It's going to be bad regardless because it's the Witness, but it's like, tell us why. There is, it just feels like we're trying to just save this MacGuffin item, and we still don't figure it out by the end of the actual campaign story. Again, tell a full-fledged story while setting stuff up for the future. That's totally fine. Again, Witch Queen, I give it like, Witch Queen's like a 9.5 out of 10 when it comes to like storytelling, and most people will agree with that. But again, if the lore people who make YouTube videos, the reviews on, I mean, look at the reviews on Steam. Those negative reviews, it's not for the gameplay and everything. That is strictly for the campaign story. That's it. So it's like, what the heck happened here? Just, I don't know if it's because a lot of people left after the Witch Queen and they had to get a brand new team, or they're trying to really stretch this out in terms of what the final shape is supposed to be for next year. But it was a huge miss when it came to the campaign story of this DLC, and I'm just like, it feels like we're missing half of it, right? Like we get to the end of it And again, we defeat Callus, and then the Traveler is linked up with the Veil / the Witness, and he makes the portal and everything at the end, and that's it. So it's like, okay, I feel we're missing a shit ton of details here. And so it's like, what the heck is going on? Again, there's so much more, and there's a much better ways I feel like they could have told the story, and I could go on and on as it is, but I don't know, it feels really weird. And again, like I mentioned beforehand near the beginning of the video here, is that we get more of that character development that we all wanted. We want, you know, Osiris finally calming down, things like Nimbus, you know, trying to process his mentor's death and everything, but we're getting it through these post-campaign side missions and everything. One of them is really cool. We get to go to like the Black Garden and everything. We get the cool machine gun that's void and everything like that. That's really cool, but they focused way too much on Strand and everything, which, by the way, using Strand, it's weird because we're not able to actually customize it during the campaign, and then when we finally get it, it's time gate. Like half of the subclass is time gate, which again, I get it. It's Bungie. They've done it forever. It's still really annoying to do and everything like that, but it's again, I feel like all the Strand background and everything should have been something to tease maybe in season 19 last season, and then go into this DLC. I mean, honestly, that kind of would have been a perfect way, right? Like maybe have that final week story mission where after we've been learning about what's Strand and just a little bit about Miyamura, like maybe we found Nimbus on, you know, the moon or something like that for some strangers. I don't know why he'd be there, but regardless, like he got teleported or something like that. But we get to know that, and then like the final mission of 19 should have been getting a taste of what Strand is, and that even probably would have sold you more DLC and everything like that. Then jump into the campaign DLC where we're catching the ship and we fly to Neptune and everything like that, and then we already kind of know what Nimbus is. We get to meet Ronan, learn a little bit about him, see the difference between the two Cloud Striders and everything. Osiris can then start to explain what the Veil is, or maybe we learned what the Veil was from the previous season, and then we get to go into it. We get to see a little bit more about why the Witness and Callus are working together and everything like that, what the Witness actually wants the Veil for, or at least understanding what the Veil is. We can kind of piece it together maybe ourselves and be like, oh, so the Veil does this, and this is why the Witness wants it. Again, that's just off the top of my head right there, and I'm not even a lore guy here, and it's just like, that would have been honestly way better in my opinion. Again, let me know your thoughts down below, what your thoughts on the story is and everything. So the last little bit that I'll kind of just finish up here in terms of all this stuff is, again, we talked about Strand and everything, but they introduced a new mod system in this game, which again, it kind of makes us feel weak right now because we're trying to level our gear up and everything like that. I totally get that and everything. There's a ton of new stuff with the gear system that we're trying to learn, that they've streamlined. I think a lot of it's broken right now though, because all of like the stasis crystals and void, like there are no wells anymore. Everything's done by the orbs of power, but they're supposed to be like stasis crystals and then like fire spites and then like the void and you have the arc traces, and then there's supposed to be the void something or whatever they're supposed to be, right? Each class is supposed to have the stasis crystal equivalents of that subclass, but I don't think those are working at all because I've never seen them one bit, not even from playing with randoms just in the open world doing public events or something like that. Like it's not there. So I think a lot of that's broken. I know like the unstoppable mods are not working, and so there's a lot of stuff that's broken, and until they get that stuff fixed / patched, that's going to create even more negativity around this, because a lot of the build crafting that especially if you jumped into the build craft, I think what they've done in terms of trying to make it approachable for new players is actually pretty great. But if you're somebody who has gotten into any form of build crafting when it comes to how our subclasses and just mods and everything that work together like that, this feels like a huge nerf. But again, I think a lot of that's due to the fact that it's not working. If I'm wrong and this is the way it's supposed to be, not a fan of it, not gonna lie, not a fan of it at all. So only time will tell. And again, we talked about Strand being time gate and everything. Again, probably has to do with like the raid and everything like that. They have unlocked, I think, the first 6 or something like that already for us, or like they gave you the currency to buy it, so you still have to go to the meditation thing after you complete the campaign DLC. By the way, you can't get Strand fully unlocked until then. And then after that, I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know if it's still gonna wait until next week to finally unlock those last parts, and then we have to wait for the day 1 raid to finish up, and then we'll finally get those last parts in there. So I don't know, again, time gain stuff, never really been a big fan of it or anything like that. So, but one thing that has me extremely worried is that, again, going from the good narrative lead up to the Witch Queen, having the Witch Queen DLC, and then for the most part, most of the narratives throughout the Witch Queen year of Destiny. So season, 17, 18, and 19, or 16, 17, 18, however it went. And now we went backward. We went way back in terms of the story and the lore and everything when it came to this DLC. And it really has me worried for the final shape, because again, this is supposed to be like the end game. And half the time, and one of the reasons you'll probably see a lot of people reviewing and saying that, you know, they didn't like characters like Nimbus and everything is because he's just cracking one-liners half the time. I do admit it does get old a little bit. His voice actor's fine though. I have absolutely no problem with either of the voice actors. Again, how their voices, it's not like they're trying to add this like almost echoish like effect with their voices and everything, which again, it's fine, whatever. That's just how the people talk there and everything. But yeah, but Nimbus is cracking one-liners half the time, and I'm just like, dude, this is supposed to be like this is the beginning of the end. Again, if this is supposed to be the Infinity War to Destiny, like if we're comparing the two, right? Because again, that's how a lot of people are comparing this and everything. It did not feel like something was bad was about to happen, because again, we never learned what the veil was. It just kind of felt like we're just going around and killing people, and that's about it. But what's going on here? So again, it really has me worried for the final shape, because I feel like, again, something happened. I don't know if it was in the development or the writing or whatever it was, or again, maybe the higher ups came in and said, oh yeah, by the way, great story here, break that across this next year instead of having it actually in the campaign that they're paying for. I'm just like, guys, no, you cannot do that. No. I mean, again, look at the reviews just simply on Steam alone in terms of the DLC itself. It is getting slammed hard, and 98% of it's for the story. And I absolutely 100% agree with them. I do. I still love the gameplay loop of Destiny for the most part. I love the new weapons. I love trying out the new Strand subclass and everything. I'm learning that my little minion army with me as a Warlock mains, rise up. Dude, creating the army is amazing. I love the super and everything like that. But again, a lot of it's still time gated, unfortunately, that I can't make the full experience. I'm still trying to get the leg armor and everything like that as well. I'm gonna get a better roll, I should say. The roll I have is not good at all. But it's just like, where I'm very concerned. I'm very concerned. So I'm not sure how they're gonna be able to pull this off. I really am not, but it should be interesting. So anyway, that's enough rambling from me though. That's just my personal thoughts on the first 24 hours and everything like that. Again, things like the strike, I like the new strike and everything, although I have to ask, I only one strike. Why can't we had 2 from Witch Queen, and now we only get 1 with this one? Like, what's going on here? At least 1 more strike. I know we got those strike reworks coming in for just 2 of them, but it's just like, come on, 2 strikes on the planet here for crying out loud. There's no Crucible maps. I mean, I've talked about in length about Crucible and my disappointment with that. Check out that video again, top right corner. Go check that out. We talked with a top 1 trials guy, you know, his disappointment and everything. But there's no new maps right now for this DLC. This DLC right here. There's no new maps for PvP. There's only 1 new strike, and it's just like, man, story was a huge letdown, and I don't know. I don't have much confidence for final shape. If they can prove me wrong, great. I really don't have it. So if you're a returning player to Destiny, obviously you're gonna play Lightfall just for Strand itself, but I cannot recommend this to new players right now. Or if you are a returning player or you've been around for a while, but you're just like, should I pick it up right now or wait until all these like bug things are fixed and everything's not time gated and everything? Honestly, I would wait just a little bit longer. If you've been able to step away and not be part of this or anything, then great, go ahead. But until then, I don't know. I am a little worried for the future of the story of this game, because that is hugely negatively affecting it. Because there's all this hype around this outside of just the Destiny 2 community and just in gaming in general. And now everyone's just like, oh, the F was this. So anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments when it comes to the campaign DLC, the campaign overall, just the DLC itself, Strand, all that stuff. What are your personal thoughts on it? And let us know your class as well. Gotta know what class you are. And if you want to join a clan, we have the 5-9 Gaming Clan for Destiny 2. We have like 60+ people in there. We raid every weekend, do strikes together, dungeons, you name it. So if you want to join that, just simply search 5-9 Gaming in the Bungie website and join it, and we'll accept you. And yeah, join our Discord and everything. It's always fun to chat with you guys and everything like that. But again, let us know your thoughts down below in the comments as always. And if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more things like this, then make sure you hit the like button and sub to the channel as always. And if you want to keep an eye out for those guide shorts, I'm making a ton of shorts right now for the channel in terms of how to farm up new red border weapons, getting the fastest XP, getting the strand currency to unlock more strand abilities and everything like that. All that stuff. Make sure you go ahead and sub to the channel, check out the shorts as always, and make sure to check out our TikTok as well if you want to. Anyway, I've been Tallen with 59 Direct. Thank you so much for everyone to stop by. Until next time, everyone. We'll see you in the next one. Johnny.